Hey Blue Table fans, welcome back to my series on my fantasy role-playing figures. I use these in my Dungeons & Dragons game. These are called Shellcrackers. They are from the Cool Mini or Not's Wrath of Kings line for the Hadros faction, which is this aquatic guys. I really don't know much more about it than that. You get this set of two. These models are really, really cool. As you can see, here's a skeleton, the scale skeleton, and this is a man-sized figure on a 25mm base. As you can see, these guys are on 40mm bases, and Games Workshop bases, actually. By the way, I love Games Workshop bases. They just have such a pleasing shape. I've never been a fan of the rounded bases that you find for so many other games. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can zoom in and get a nice shot of these guys. So they're these weird, like, ogre creatures in these snail shells. And I did sort of a crusty barnacle thing. That's Vallejo Parasite Brown. Then I used various blues. One of my favorites is Somber Gray, which is a very bluish gray. And then I used a pale French blue. Like 3 different kinds. I really worked these guys up over and over again. And they're an absolute delight to assemble. I have to say that Cool Mini does a really great job on its model lines in terms of assembly. We're going to be looking at some Malifaux figures on another day, and those are not... some of them are hard to assemble, but you can't argue with the end result. The Malifaux sculpts are really good, but the Wrath of Kings stuff is pinned very deeply, so they stay together real nice, and I just love these two guys. I'm playing them, I'm using them as Marids. You may be familiar with a genie. A genie's from the elemental plane of air. An Ifriti, or an Ifrit, is one of those plural? Anyway, they're from the elemental plane of fire, and then you have Marids that are from the elemental plane of water. Wonder what it's called when they're from the elemental plane of earth. A genasi? I don't know. Anyway, so there's these guys. Let's take a look at one more guy. This is similar. This is also from the Wrath of Kings line, from the Hadros. And this guy's pretty huge. Let's put the scale skeleton next to him. So he's pretty big. It's like this weird sort of lobster creature. He's some kind of special character. I don't know. I only got... Whoa, am I getting a decent shot here? I should really do this on a higher quality camera. So anyway, this is on a 50mm base, which would really make this a huge creature. I'm playing it as a large creature. And again, I just used a lot of different earth tones and on him, and again, I only consider these to be sort of middle-of-the-road tabletop standard guys. And of course, when you look at the box art or you look at models done for websites, to advertise the minis, they're done to a much higher standard. Probably, you know, no exaggeration, 10 or 20 times the time that I put into him. But this guy has, you know, armor plates on, so clearly he's sentient. He actually has a belt of pouches around his midsection there, and a total of 8 legs. So I don't know what that makes him. I guess lobsters have 8 legs, right? All right, so, and I've just done lots of washes and highlights and just probably 10 layers on this guy, you know, trying to get this shell effect on him. So guys, that's what I have for you. This is all for my ultimate fantasy role-playing concept of creating a full adventure in 3 dimensions with custom large-scale terrain. And as far as I know, this is potentially going to be a step up from what's been done before. Which would be really nice. So thanks for tuning in, and there's much, much more to come.